fun house, lights are spinning bright. Crazy, wacky game show, every inbox inside. Welcome to John's Fun House. Go on, take your chance. Who's the goat of email marketing? Who's the goat of email marketing?
Welcome to John's Fun House. This is the only game show on the internet stupid enough to put marketing's biggest names through some absolute carnage to find out one thing, which is, who is the GOAT of email marketing? If you are new here, here is how it works. We have 5 contestants, 7 challenges, and plenty of pride and points to play for. Each week, we're going to put a new contestant through the same series of ridiculous fun, some high-pressure rounds. At the end of the series, the leaderboard will decide who takes home the awfully tacky 90s GOAT trophy that we have being delivered. At the end of each episode, the pressure will be on our contestants to see if they can get me back by answering 5 simple questions. If they get them all right, I get this bucket of gunge that's going to be sat here the whole time poured over me. But if they get it wrong, I survive and live to see another day. This show exists to kind of blow away the smoke and mirrors nonsense that's all behind email marketing. It doesn't have to be boring. It can be a bit fun. It can be silly, and you can still learn along the way. My name is John McKee. I'm your host. I'm the founder of Go Email Marketing, and this is my fun house, which means it's my house. It's my rules. Now, this series is sponsored by Active Campaign. This email platform trusted by over 180,000 businesses worldwide. If you are serious about email marketing, you are looking for a platform, then they're the ones to check out. The link is going to be in the description. Now, in episode 1, we had the wonderful Alex Cattoni, who scored 24.5 points. Now, by default, she is the first contestant. That puts her top of the leaderboard. Now, the question is, will she stay there, or will today's guest have enough to knock her off the top spot? Now, today's contestant has spent 18 years as a professional psychological mind reader, reading people's thoughts, predicting behavior, and getting inside their heads for a living. He has performed for some of the biggest corporations on the planet. We're talking Yahoo, Royal London, Tarmac, standing on stages in front of thousands of people, making it look like he can genuinely read people's minds. He has decided to take all of this and go, you know what? I know everything there is to know about psychology. I'm going to go and apply this to email marketing. And it's helped 9,000 paying customers make more sales from their email list. He hosts not 1, but 2 podcasts, including the Email Marketing Show, which is ranked in the top 5% of podcasts on the planet. A published author, 2 software companies, and spoken on stages around the world. He is stepping into John's Funhouse today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kennedy.
Hello, John. I'm very excited. I expected you to have really big shoes and like a squeaky nose to be in the Funhouse.
Yeah, I was wondering if I have to dress up in like a Barney or some sort of like Ronald McDonald.
Or for the UK people, like I thought you might have like a Pat Sharp kind of mullet.
I was going to have the big suit with the shoulder pads.
Nice.
But the weather has changed that.
You've gone for a black t-shirt instead. Perfect.
That is purely based on my experience with the gunge last time round. Okay, so Kennedy, you know how this works. We can go through seven tough rounds to test your knowledge. And there are points and pride on the line. And as the old saying goes, the stats don't lie. So are you ready to begin? And welcome into John's Funhouse. Okay, it is time for round number 1. This is the yes-no game. So here's how it works. I'm going to ask you rapid-fire questions about email marketing, business, life, whatever comes into my head at the time. And you have to answer every single one as quick as you can. The only thing is you can't say the words yes or no. If you say either of these, if you say those, you're going to lose a point. So you're starting with 5 points. Every time you would say yes or no, you're going to lose it. Let's see how many you can hold on to at the end. Let me start my timer. Okay, are you ready? And I will click go.
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Would you say psychology matters more than copywriting in an email?
Definitely.
Have you ever unsubscribed from someone's email list and felt guilty?
Never.
Are you going to win this show?
Unlikely.
Do you want me to get gunged at the end?
Certainly.
Have you ever read someone's mind and wish you hadn't?
Too often hyphenated.
Okay, you have made that through and have got 5 points, full house in the first round. So solid start from Kennedy.
I feel like you're luring me to a false sense of security, though, because I am shite at this stuff.
round number 2 is it's time for GOAT or go home. So this is where we talk email marketing tactics. I'm going to throw some email and marketing tactics at you, and I want you to tell me if you think they need to go home in the bin or if they are goated. Are you ready?
I can say
you can say yes or no now.
Right, yeah, got this. Yeah, let's do this, yeah.
Yeah, you're free for the rest of this game to say yes or no.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No. Right, I'm ready.
Question number 1, using urgency when there's no real deadline in an email.
Go home. It's completely pointless. Whenever we use urgency or scarcity or anything that's driving an action through those kind of things, we got to remember that there has to be consequences, right? So what we have to remember is that the big mistake loads of people make with their emails is they think of them in a vacuum and they forget that they're actually training the behavior of their audience. So people know on my list, if I say the thing ends at 10 p.m. If you go at 10:01, you cannot get in. It doesn't matter how many times you beg my support staff, you cannot get in. We make it so they can't even get around it. So yeah, it's completely pointless, and it's illegal, and it's also immoral. But the big thing here is that it's greedy, because the very tactic you're using, which is scarcity or urgency, and you said urgency in this case, you're using that in order to bank more sales. So you can't have your cake and eat it. You can't have the effect, the positive impact of the urgency principle and allow people to buy later as well. They're like the opposite techniques. So and they can't work together. That's like, they just don't work together. So that's always need to go home. It was never a good idea. The whole, we broke the cart, so we're going to extend the sale. Fuck off. Like, there's an affiliate who I promoted a thing for about 2 years ago, and he told all of his partners, it was a big launch, right? You've definitely heard of this person. Big launch. It closes on Saturday. I'm telling my list, closes on Saturday. It's going to be great. And then he emails and says, it's gone so well, we're going to extend it. I'm like, you greedy bastard, I'm killing your links. So that's what happened to me. Yeah. So fuck no is the answer.
Yeah, no, I rate it. When we've got, 5 spaces left, you've got 10. Stop it. Okay. Sending the same email to your entire list without using segmentation.
That's tricky because it depends on what we mean by segmentation, because segmentation can be so many things. Like segmentation, let's say you're only sending it to your engaged list. Let's just say you've segmented out by default the disengaged people. There is a place for it, and it depends on how many products you've got. So if you're a service-based business, you probably have between 3 and 5 services. So in general, it's not awful. I think one of the big things that a lot of people teaching email marketing do to puff up their own chest and make themselves smart is over segment. Like, I remember when I got my first ever email list, I used Aweber, right? Back in the day, like I think we all did. And so I remember I sent out an email. It was a link to a video on YouTube. That was the only place you could put a video on the internet back then. I was like, okay, I sent it on a Tuesday. So I was segmenting my list so much. If someone clicked on that link, I was giving them the tag of, they like videos and they like productivity, because it was a video about productivity. They're like, it was sent on a Tuesday. So on a Tuesday, I said in the morning. When on earth am I ever going to segment? I'm only going to send to people who open things on Tuesdays. I'm freaking never going to use that. So I think over segmentation is 1, paralyzing for people to implement, and 2, almost always causes more hassle because of people falling through the gaps. I think the actual answer based on experience is most people don't need to segment that much. It basically needs to be, have they bought the thing or have they not bought the thing?
Using templates and swipe files instead of finding your own unique voice.
In general, I think the idealistic view of this is to say that needs to go home. The practical answer, though, is if a partner of ours is either going to not send an email or just use my swipe file, just use the swipe file. Because the email that's sent is always going to win over the email that is chewed over and paralyzed over because they can't come up with a unique angle. Because sent emails make money. Ones that you haven't sent because you can't think of your own idea don't make sales. Don't bring anyone closer. Don't deepen a relationship. So I think in general, best practice, don't do it. But if it's the difference between you sending the email and not sending the email, send the freaking template.
Yeah. You're going to like this next one. Sending emails to make it look like it was an internal comms email.
I mean, who's going to say that's a good idea? I freaking hate it. Hey, can you just tell John that we're going to give him a discount? Fuck off. That never happened. It never happened.
The amount that I've seen from some very big names where it's like, oh, we've accidentally sent the email that we were meant to send to Julie, the cleaner. Don't leak this.
Yeah, no. I mean, anything that's BS like that, like we do it, we do some stuff that's akin to that, but we do it tongue in cheek because we're like taking the piss out of it. You know, oh, sorry, we made so many sales yesterday that our cart broke, so you better buy it quickly. And then ... is not an email I'll be sending you tomorrow when we do close the cart. You know, kind of vibes. But that's just knowledge of like the market, really. But yeah, never. No, like even like FW or re in the subject line.
Re.
Come on, really?
Yeah. And last question, building a big email list versus making more from fewer engaged subscribers.
Always making more from the fewer subscribers, but don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean you should not continue growing your email list and having fresh leads. The problem with just growing your audience and making the there is an exception to this, actually. There's a business model exception to that, which is if your business is selling advertising space and number of clicks, if that's what you're selling, then audience size is pretty much what the game is. But for most of us who are selling our own products and services, the actual game is the cost of leads is continuing to go up, whether that's you have to put more social content out there, or you have to spend more on ads, or however you're doing it. The cost of getting those leads is going up. The conversion rate for most companies that when we start working with them is going down because of noise, not for anything else, just because of the level of noise generated by AI and access to information. So yeah, our job has to be convert as much as you possibly can. The reason being, basically, if you go back in time, the reason I got good at this stuff and end up in this position now is because when I first started my online business, I had a coaching program for other magicians, mind readery, ventriloquists, entertainers, basically. And I had the biggest list by far in that space, and it was 8,000 people. It was tiny. So when your TAM, when your total addressable market has such a low ceiling, you have to just get really good at going, how do I give more value to these people so they'll spend more? So that's how I got good at this conversion stuff and getting more people to buy stuff. At the end of the day, you can't pay your bills. You can't buy that second home. You can't buy that Gucci bag you want to buy with number of subscribers. Hey, Amex, can I pay my American Express card bill with my 32 email list? No, sir. No, you can't. Okay, fine.
We're going to take your house. Really?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, shit. But look at the size of my list.
You could walk around with a tattoo of it. My list is.
Yeah. Or like, those people who used to go to shit networking events with the digital scrolling badge. It was like, hi, my name's John on it. And like you did this. But you could have like a counter which was like 32,206 subscribers. And everyone's like, oh yeah, knob.
Okay, so you have successfully made it through that round. Now, this scoring is not actually based on the amount you get right or wrong. It's based on what I feel the quality that you've brought to those questions. Now, I am going to score you a maximum 5 out of 5 points there because you dropped some absolute knowledge bombs in there. So another full house for you in round number 2, Kennedy.
I didn't even know how I was being scored. I was just like, have at it.
So now we're coming into the biggest, most juiciest section that I know everyone's going to absolutely love is the predict the future. So this is where we want to put you in the hot seat and find out what you actually know is working now, maybe compared to what it used to be, and then what could be coming up in the next 12 months. So first off, like what is working now? What are you seeing potentially in like trends, or like what is there within email marketing that people might be either sleeping on, they're not kind of thinking of right now?
There's a whole bunch of things which are the practice has changed like more in the last 6 months than it has at any point in history on email specific, right? One of the big changes is about engagement level. And of course, because of a massive volume being generated by AI, what the Gmails and the Yahoos and the Microsoft Hotmails of this world have had to do is they've had to, of course, adjust their algorithms for our email inboxes so that it can sort and filter and present to us email recipients the emails we actually want, not just loads of crap. So one of the things that we do need to do is really look at the engagement more than ever of our email list. We used to say 90 to 180 days, we would count a lead as being engaged. Like if they haven't engaged for 180 days, we're now going to put them through some kind of revival, a resuscitation sequence. But actually, that has dropped significantly. And that's based on Google data. Google has shown us that if a lead has not engaged, and I'm talking about opened an email or clicked on an email from you in the last 60 days, that is it. 60 days is the window. If they haven't done that, they're now considered not very engaged. And so the big change we have to make is that to realize that if we're emailing people, email the people who are within 60 days. Anyone beyond the 60-day period who ticks over into that, you want to put them into some really short sequence, 11 to 14 days. That's going to just say, hey, can I just get some proof of life? That's what I call it, proof of life. Can I just prove you're still interested, you're still around? All I need is a click or a link. Don't try and sell them anything during that period. Just get that link, get that proof of life. You want the pulse, okay? So that's one of the first things. The second thing that's happening, of course, is because a lot of people are using AI in their emails, what you have an opportunity is if you don't use AI in your emails. And it's an interesting opportunity. And I don't think it's a long opportunity we have. I think it's an opportunity we have right now. But I think in 4 months' time, that's not going to be the opportunity anymore. The opportunity we've got right now is most of us can sniff out an AI email or any bit of content really, really quickly. Not even if there's no M dash, right? We just can feel the rhythm. We can feel it subconsciously. We just know. It's a bit like when you meet someone and their first language is not your native language. They might be brilliant at it, but there's just the cadence or the inflection, all these interesting things about human behavior. So we know. So now, right now, if you handwrite your emails, which is exactly what I'm doing, if you handwrite your emails, people feel the humanness between the words, between the lines. They can read between the lines. The other really interesting thing that's happening is there's typos in pretty much all of my emails. I don't put typos in, I leave typos in. Because AI doesn't freaking do that. So I think there's some really, really big opportunities. The other thing, of course, is that, and a lot of people have started talking about this, I was talking about this a while ago, but AI's never lived. It's never done anything. It's got no lived experience. If you think about what AI is, and we don't do that whole thing, but basically, the AI is the average of everything. So if the best email in the world is rated as a 10 out of 10, and the worst email in the world that was ever written was a 0 out of 10, AI is producing 5 out of 10 content. Here's the awesome news. In order for your emails to stand out 2 years ago, you were competing with really good handwritten email marketers who were writing it 8, 9, and 10 out of 10. You had to be freaking 10 out of 10. But because now so many people are using AI, the bar has dropped to average 5 out of 10 level content. So in order to stand out right now, you only need to write 6 out of 10 content. The bar for good content has actually dropped. Think about that. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the ways we do this is by talking about lived experience. So the big push right now in everyone's business must be proof. It's got to be proof. So we want to be leading our email campaigns, our landing pages, every single thing in our campaigns with here's a case study, here's a story, here's a testimonial, here's a before and after. Here's the proof, because AI hasn't got any proof. It's got no lived experience. So when I'm like, hey, we took this one lady, she's a coach from London, she's called Sheila, she had only 78 email subscribers, and within 3 months, we'd taken her to a 6-figure business using this thing. Oh my God, okay, great. And I've got a picture of Sheila, and here's a picture of a bank account. All this, okay, great. There's no way for AI, for someone to go to ChatGPT and get an answer that's going to give them that level of proof. So proof is the number one lever. And that leads really into like lived experience. So the reason I've started talking way more about my backstory around being the mind reader and the psychology guy, more than I've ever done ever, is because it's important now to do that.
Yeah.
So whatever your background is, if you've written copy for this massive campaign and you worked for Agora Financial and did all these cool things, tell that story.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that's going to let you stand out and your expertise stand out. So they're kind of the really, really big things. The next thing in the future is AI is going to get better, and that average line is going to go up. And it's going to get better. It's already doing it. AI is getting better at being more personalized. A lot of us have our own personal AIs now, which know us, know our frameworks, know our turns of phrase. And I did a 30-day test, daily test, where I split test me writing an email and getting Claude to write an email every single day. And what I did every day is I fed back into Claude. It's a right palaver. But every single day, I fed back into Claude the 2 emails, the one it wrote, the one that I wrote by hand, and told it which one won. And after just 18 days, Claude was able to beat my emails for click-through rate and revenue. So if we can do iterative learning like this, then yes, AI in 4 months' time, I think is going to be there. Right now, the advantage is that your emails will perform better. Now, if you look at those Claude-generated emails, do they read a bit like AI? Yes, they do. But did they get the macro outcome I'm looking for, which is more clicks to my sales page and more sales? And the answer was yes. Then the question becomes, does it matter if it reads like AI, if it's getting the outcome that we want for ourselves and our clients? And that's the big change of mindset I need people to have. Not only is the input getting better so that line is going higher, but remember, if AI continue just to be the average, it just means that the whole chart of 0 to 10 is actually just moving up, and AI would continue being at a 5. That's just what 5 is, would increase. Sure. But in real terms, AI is also evolving so that it can be better than average. It can go to 6 and it could go to 7. So we've got both of those things happening simultaneously.
Yeah. And I think as well, like before, what we've definitely seen, at least I've seen over the last 18 months, is even now, testimonials, people are unsure until they would see a video, until they would see someone physically going, Kennedy has done X, Y, and Z and changed my life, or done this, this, and this. And then you've only got to see some of the AI videos that are out. And then some people are like, is this actually a real person? I don't even know. So you're so right. Like I've always said that it's like social proof and relatability is what's going to build the trust and authority. Like it has to be relatable social proof. And like you've said there, if they can see someone that is what they would feel on their, say, peer level, and that they're getting that success with that person, then they're going to be like, oh my God, if this can work with this person that I arguably can mirror myself and see myself as, and this relatable with you, then yeah, it's hands down, I think is definitely what we're seeing, like with the proof and stuff.
And I think one of the mistakes that people could make is we live in such a connected world. You can connect everything with everything now. I think it's a mistake to think of email in isolation. It's always been a mistake to do it, but it's more prevalent now. So one of the things we do with a lot of our coaching clients and with private clients I do consults is we look at, what the old marketers would call like an omnipresent multi-channel approach. But actually, what that means is, can you chuck in a bit of WhatsApp if you're a UK or European-based business, not so much in the States yet? Can you put in some SMS messaging? Like I remember speaking to Clay Mask, who's one of the founders and CEOs of Infusionsoft Keep, about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember him telling me about the impact of sending an SMS along with an email. And it is huge. So I'll give you an example of when you could do this. Imagine if you're going to just find a segment of your list who is your top spenders, right? Your people who've spent the most money with you. And if you're not collecting that information, please do that, because if you're like, what should we launch as our next offer? If you can pull up your CRM, you open up your Active Campaign or your whichever platform you're using, you open it up and you can see who spent the most money. The good news is they've already proven they like to spend money with you. So when you're offering those people, you might send out a new campaign and say, hey, I'm going to launch this new thing. Great. But imagine if at the same time you sent that email, that person received an SMS on their phone that said, hey, John, just sent you a quick email when you get a second. What we've just done is we've placed that email onto a pedestal. Why would I text you about, hey, I've just sent you an email? You're like, I'm going to have a look at what an email is. We just raised the bar and the status of the email. And we can do that by using another channel to drive to it.
That is, I'd never even considered that. And I guess so from that aspect then, do you feel like you couldn't overdo that? Like in terms of if you keep getting text messages, do you think, again, that is going to kind of like wear thin on people potentially?
Yeah, because attention resetting is the number one tool we have in all marketing, right? We have to be constantly doing things which re-engage that audience. So if every email I send to you opens up with, you're not going to believe it, and then or something that's like the same as I'm not going to believe it, then people are going to get bored. And it's the same if I get an SMS every week from you saying, I've just sent you an email, it's not novel. So one of the things we do have to be looking for is novelty. Like, for example, if you do a launch, here's a really good novel email that you can steal right from me, which I've never seen anybody send this, and I've sent this in like 10 different niches myself. Here it is. Send an email at some point during your launch, which is, you can change the number, but 11 reasons not to buy my product. And basically what you do is you have like a list in the email of tongue-in-cheek, like I did it with, the first time I ever did it was with my book that I wrote in the magician's niche. And one of them was like, reason number one not to buy my brand new book is it's 287 pages. It's really heavy. It's going to really make your bag very, very heavy. It's a terrible idea. Reason number two, it's full of really good ideas, which means you're going to have to change your whole business, and that's a lot of work. So it was all these like tongue-in-cheek reverse benefits presented in this. But the lesson here is not necessarily go and do that exact thing, but it's novelty. It's like, how do I take what I'm doing and flip it on its head? And one of the things you learn in improvisational theater is the game of opposites. What's everybody doing? What's the exact opposite of that? And just play that game, and every now and again you're going to go, that's a cool idea. So instead of 11 reasons to buy my thing, 11 reasons not to buy it, and then do a tongue-in-cheek thing. That's where that came from. So play that game of opposites, and we get to do that novelty attention reset. Because once we lose their attention, well, we've got enough.
That is phenomenal. So we are on to one of the funnest segments we have in the show, which is higher or lower, but guess the open rate. So very simple. I'm going to show you a series of subject lines. You're going to guess if the next one is higher or lower than the previous one. For every one you get correct, you'll get a point. If you consecutively get all of them correct, you'll get a bonus 5 points. So if you get them all back to back in a row, if you get through all of them without getting any wrong, you'll get a bonus 5 points. Is that understood? Are you with it? Are you ready to go?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Okay. So the first subject line, and if you can see that there, can you see that there? It says, new home, new name, same girl. So this had an open rate of 37.3%. Okay. So did this subject line have a better open rate? And this is, let's address the elephant in the room. Is that higher or lower?
Lower.
Is higher, 54% open rate.
Well, I've already fucked the 5 points.
It's okay. If it means anything to you, in the previous round, Alex only scored 2, so really don't worry. So 54.9 is our new benchmark. Now, is mini rant incoming with a little angry emoji, is it higher or lower than 54.9?
Lower.
It's higher, 57.89. So nil point at the minute.
How many are there? 5?
Yeah, you have 3 more. So there's still time. Okay, so it's not the size that matters with that little emoji. Is that higher or lower than 57.8?
What was the previous one again?
The previous subject line was mini rant incoming. So higher or lower than 57?
I'm going to go lower.
It is lower, 56.9. Still solid, 56.9. 1 point. Okay, so I was bloody lonely for so long. Is that higher or lower than it's not the size that matters at 56%?
Are these all at the same list?
No.
Oh.
They're between 2 lists, these ones.
Lower.
It's higher, 61%. So, last one to redeem.
61%. Okay.
I'm being a nosy girl. Is that higher or lower than 61%? And I was so lonely for so long.
Let's go higher.
It is higher, 62.9%.
2 points.
2 points in there. It's tough without context like that. And I'll tell you for context now, they're from someone that we've wrote with, and they're 2 lists that are really, really, really highly engaged. Now, if I'd said to you, it's a big list that no one emails, then before that would have shifted your thinking of oh, maybe it's lower, but
good.
2 points is still solid. So we're going to move on to the next section. So this is the one that I've been waiting to do with you, Kennedy, because you are the master of the mind, and this one is there to melt people's brains. So you just have 10 questions, really simple, straightforward ones. You should know them. The only caveat is you are to answer with the previous question. So if you answer question 2, you should be giving me question 1's answer. Is that clear? Okay. Question number 1. What is your name? Question number 2. What's the name of your podcast?
Kennedy.
What are your cats called?
The Email Marketing Show.
What colour socks are you wearing right now?
Nova and Ivy.
What is the host's name of this show?
Green and Yellow.
Who is the best email marketer in the world?
Some guy called John.
What is the name of your book?
Dean Jackson.
What was your job before you went into email marketing?
Psych stacked email marketing.
How many subscribers to your email list do you currently have?
I was a mind reader.
And what is 9 times 7?
About 9,000.
Congratulations, you have made it through.
9 times 7 is.
Yeah, I know. And to be fair, when that first got put in, I was like, wait, I have to know what that is. So just getting there is enough to get all the points. So congratulations. That is 10 points, Kennedy. Like, really solid, really solid. I actually didn't give you any insight into this, and I'm not going to give you much information. You have approximately 15 seconds to find me the biggest spoon you can.
Start now.
Like right now.
I think this is my biggest spoon. Amazon for you. Monopoly.
Yeah. So, congratulations, you have just completed part of the pointless task. There's no points. I just wanted to see if you can go get me a spoon.
Great. It's a fucking lovely spoon, though. Look at that. I must have put this in my mouth and say something and answer questions in my mouth.
I just wanted to see if you can go get a spoon. How well do you know yourself? We want to know if Kennedy knows Kennedy as well as Kennedy should know Kennedy. We're going to ask you 5 questions. We've done our research, and you are going to get, very simple, point for every correct answer. Big opportunity here based on the other contestants we've had on that you could make some gains on that leaderboard. So, are you ready, Kennedy, to understand Kennedy?
I guess I am.
Okay, question number 1. You played parts in 2 amateur dramatics shows as a child. Can you name them?
Yeah. Oliver and Joseph as an Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Any more?
King and I was in a pantomime. I can't remember what it was. What else was I in? Oh, The Railway Children.
The Railway Children, correct. The Railway Children and Oliver were the 2 that we were looking for.
Yeah.
You're somewhere on your website or on some social media platform, it said that you have not eaten a very specific food in your entire life. Can you verify what that is?
Yeah, it's an egg.
What? What have you never eaten an egg?
I've eaten eggs in things, like in cakes and pies, right? But I've
Right.
never eaten an egg. I've never thought, yeah, that belongs in my mouth.
Okay, that's so weird. We may have touched on this before, but there is a daily fashion choice that you do deliberately every single day. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, I wear odd socks every single day.
Yeah. As a child at school, you used to make money by doing what for other students?
I used to write them excuse notes for 50p.
To get out of what? Lessons? PE? Anything?
PE, mostly PE. Or like if their homework was like not done. Oh, sorry, little Charlie couldn't do his homework as grandma died. Yes, it's his 5th grandma. You know. What happened was my mum once found my...
How funny that you were already writing.
Yeah. My mum found like it was turning out my pockets to do like the laundry at the weekend. And she was like, why is there all these 50p's in your pocket? Have you not been eating lunch? And she thought I might have an eating disorder or something because I wasn't eating my dinner. And I was like, no, I've sort of got neat handwriting. And yeah, that was my first
entrepreneurial even then.
Yeah.
Okay, and the final question. In your podcast, in the intro, you say that your mission is to save the world from what specific type of email marketing? And we need the exact phrase.
I think we've changed. It might have changed over time. I won't remember it exactly, so I'm not going to get this. But it's something like underperforming. We did underperforming and something at once. Underperforming and we did email marketing that makes you want to be sick in your mouth was for a while.
Not that one.
Not that one.
It's along those lines. Ish.
We want to save the world from email marketing. Yeah, I can't remember it all. No, I haven't got a clue.
It was grubby, old-fashioned email marketing.
Really? There you go. I would never have we're going to be here till tomorrow. I would never have got that.
So solid 4 points from that, to be fair. Like that is decent total from you. So you are motoring through. Wow, 26 so far, Kennedy. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Fuck you, Alex.
Okay, Kennedy, it's now the moment probably most people have tuned in to watch just to see if I can be a moron and get covered in gunge. So we are going to decide now if it's Gunge or Goat. So you are safe, obviously, unless I can magically teleport and tip Gunge over you. But this now lays on your shoulders. I've kind of put you through the mill with some challenges, and it's your turn to now get your own back on me. So you are going to have 5 questions. 4 of them are going to be pretty straightforward with one harder question. They'll get harder typically as they go on through the round. If you get every single one of them right, then you get your own back on me and the Gunge will be poured over me. But if you get any of them wrong, I stay clean and goated. Is that crystal clear?
Perfect.
Okay. Pressure is on. Question number 1. What does ROI stand for?
Turn on investment.
What is the name of the framework that you can teach for email marketing?
I have like a gazillion of them. We have one called the Email Engine.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
What does this may even give this away then. What does the E in SCORE method stand for?
Engagement.
True or false? The first ever marketing email was sent in 1978.
Marketing email. True.
That is true. Very first marketing email was sent. And little fun fact, it generated $13 million in sales because it was the first. And they actually got in a lot of trouble with the US government because apparently it was like massively illegal at the time.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so final question. And I'm going to give you multiple choice options here. How many emails are sent worldwide per day? Is it 350 billion, 250 billion, or 150 billion?
Feeling the pressure, like I really want to see the Gunge all over your beautiful face. I think it's 150 billion.
That is incorrect. Thank God. It is roughly 350 billion, which is staggering. I am over the moon, to be honest with you. When I got Gunged the first time, it like burned my eyes and it was, yeah,
Lovely.
Goggles are here this time. But wow, I am so glad that happened. That is the end of today's show, but let's see how your points stack up. Okay, Kennedy, you have scored 26 points, which now moves you currently to the top of the leaderboard. Now, what would you say to anyone thinking of watching this show or tuning in, like anything you would give? What have you experienced today?
This has been really good fun. Annoyingly, John didn't get gunged. So I think we have to just keep tuning in really to find out how many times you are going to get gunged.
Yeah, I'm currently 1-1 now, so we will see. We've got a few more to go. Thank you so much. This has been John's Funhouse. Tune in next time.